This is the Professor, CBMD PhD, and today's Tuesday, November 26, 2024. It is 9:12 and 48 seconds, p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And today's research, UFO surprises. So let's hop to it here. This surprising misconception that UFOs are exclusively a native phenomenon of the United States is completely refuted in the Foreign Report Section X. Part of the reason for this erroneous belief is the lack of information on foreign sightings reported by Newswire representatives abroad. In 1962, for instance, a major concentration of sightings occurred in Argentina. Section Argentina chronology beginning in May and lasting almost all year. A few of the May sightings were reported, briefly, in the New York Times, June 3, 1962, from Reuters Dispatch, but in a manner implying that the sightings lasted only one day. In general, U.S. news coverage of these sightings was practically non-existent. Reuters apparently was the only news agency to report them at all outside of Argentina. Most major countries of the world for years have either official or unofficial investigations of UFO sightings. Section X, American servicemen overseas, have contributed many reports. At 11:20 a.m. March 29, 1952, an Air Force pilot was flying a T-6 north of Misawa, Japan. It was a bright, cloudless day. LTDC Brigham was in the T-6 target plane in a practice intercept mission with a flight of two F-84s pursuing him. As the first F-84 overtook him at 6,000 feet, Brigham noticed a flash of sunlight behind it and saw a small shiny disc-shaped object gaining on the interceptor. The UFO curved toward the F-84, decelerating rapidly to the Thunderjet's airspeed 150 to 160 miles per hour and flipping on edge at a 90-degree bank. Then it fluttered along close to the interceptor's fuselage between the two aircraft for 2 to 3 seconds and pulled away around the starboard wing, flipping once, apparently as it hit the slipstream. Finally, the object passed the F-84, crossed in front, pulled up abruptly, accelerated, and shot out of sight in a near vertical climb. Lieutenant Brigham estimated that the UFO at its closest point was 30 to 50 feet away from his plane. It was round, shiny, as polished chromium, and seemed to be about 8 inches in diameter. Throughout the observation, the disc rocked back and forth in 40-degree banks at about 1 second intervals. Flight characteristics: Lieutenant Brigham saw no exhaust or protrusions, but reported a ripple in the apparently metal skin around the edge of the disc. Foreign pilots, scientists, and engineers also have observed UFOs many times. Around sunset, June 30th, 1954, south of Goose Bay, Labrador, British Overseas Airways airliner was paced by a large parent object, about 6 satellite objects. Section X, Foreign Reports. Later that night, about 2:15 p.m. local time near Oslo, Norway, 2 UFOs operating in tandem were observed and filmed under especially favorable conditions. A solar eclipse was in progress, and 3 planes carrying scientists and technicians on a scientific expedition were flying through the moon's shadow. About 50 people in the 3 aircraft saw 2 enormous silvery discs swoop down from some clouds 15 to 20 miles away. Estimate based on fact: UFOs were in sunlight. The objects sped along the horizon, keeping an exact distance from each other, one slightly behind and above the other, both with forward edge tilted down. The observers detected apparent rotation as UFOs leveled off and disappeared into the distance after about 30 seconds. The chief cameraman of the expedition managed to expose about 10 seconds of movie film which showed the UFOs. The films released by a British firm were shown on American television September 26, 1954. Still photographs of the UFOs have been printed. One of the witnesses stated that 50 persons afterwards wrote reports on what they had seen. Another unexplainable disc was observed, tracked on radar, and chased by 2 U.S. Air Force jet pilots somewhere in the Far East. And this is Professor Christopher, codename Will, leader of research scientist ufologist, computer technician, computer programmer, philanthropist, writer, mathematician, artist, photographer, film producer, chef, animal, and nature lover, passion, world peace. And this video was created for educational purposes only. Hope you enjoyed listening. Until next time, have a great day. This is the professor, CBMD PhD.